What's going on, everybody? Chase Crawford here with another episode of According to the Internet, joined today by Alex Tilford, the one and only Skyline guy. What's up, man?
Hey, man, what's going on? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, man. Do you hate when people immediately associate you with Skyline?
No, man, I love it.
That's what you were put here to do, right?
Exactly. It's what I'm here to do.
So, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about your journey with Skyline Chili.
Well, yeah, it's a fairly, it could be a long or short story depending on how,
Let's go for the medium length.
The medium, okay, I'll do medium length. So, I'm from Cincinnati, grew up actually in the northern Kentucky area. Obviously grew up eating Skyline, loving Skyline. And I stuck around to go to Xavier University. And then when I graduated Xavier, I studied marketing and graphic design. I went on to move to Los Angeles. And it was funny, it was actually out in Los Angeles that my roommate actually, had a bunch of Skyline cans. And I thought that that was just really funny content, seeing Skyline Chili in Los Angeles, taking it out of its niche market. And then, obviously there are some thoughts on the side around what I think about the current landscape of influencer marketing. And I don't know that a lot of companies are doing it well. There are some doing it really well. But anyway, I thought that this was an experiment, to not... I think the current philosophy with influencer marketing is to take an influencer with a big following and a brand with a big following and sort of merge them and see if you can get any overlap. But this was sort of a new idea where you build an influencer from an existing brand. So really, it's just an experiment. That's all I was trying to do. Plus, I love Skyline, so I figured I'd just have some fun with it.
That's actually... The whole story kind of captivated me. I thought it was pretty funny. You take these cans all over the world, and wherever you travel, you take a picture with them. Tell me how long it took for Skyline to see what you were doing and kind of catch on, because you're not affiliated with Skyline still, correct? This is all an independent venture still.
Sure. Yeah. So, there are small side conversations happening. Obviously, the goal is to work with them at some point. But that's correct. Yeah. It took them, I guess I started this whole thing in January, and it's October now. So, I had some chats early on in the year with sort of their agency that does some of their social media. But, I get DMs from time to time, and I got a DM from, one of the girls from the founding family. Who invited me to the grand opening of the new location in Ross, Ohio. So it's funny. There are people throughout the organization that I occasionally talk to, which is cool. So
did you go to the grand opening, or were you?
Well, it's on.
Or is it? Did you fly back for that?
No,
I was about to say.
Yeah, it's on. It's on Tuesday, and I won't be here. I gotta work, so I'll be back in LA.
Did you were you tempted to ask your boss for the day off of work that day?
Oh, absolutely. I was a little bummed I couldn't make it, but
who opens a restaurant on a Tuesday?
It's open.
Not to dig them at all, but maybe a Saturday.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. Even a Monday, it kind of just makes timing sense. I don't know.
Who knows? I don't run restaurants for reasons.
Right. I don't either, actually. I just market them on the side.
Yeah. So you're almost up to 10,000 followers now. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Do you think that there's ever a day where your account gets more followers than the actual Skyline account itself?
I do, actually. I do from time to time, because I keep an eye on the Skyline account too. I like to kind of monitor both, just to see how mine's performing. And I've studied social media marketing, in college, and kind of do some other stuff with photography. So, this isn't the only account I run, but it's funny because this is by far the most engaged with account. People just love Skyline, and that was part of the whole original idea anyway. It's this is already an existing brand. This is just going to be an easy segue into this sort of, I don't know, Instagram type content. So.
No, I love it. And influencer marketing is definitely something I've learned a lot about over, the past couple years.
Yeah, you're an expert. You got a huge following.
I wouldn't say an expert.
You've worked with a lot of brands, though.
I've worked with a lot of brands, and some of them, it's okay, it's cool that you have money, but like, what's actually the point of your campaign? Like,
Exactly.
you get some of them, you can tell that they're just an agency trying to spend all the money that they're allocated.
Right.
And like others
Right.
of them, it's like, we chose you because of this, this, and this, and your followers are this, and they would enjoy this, and it would fit organically. And it's like, okay, that's cool. And then other products are like, we will pay you this much to post a picture of this, and like that's literally like the whole email. And it's like,
Yeah, no, it's that's the thing. I mean, I think agencies specifically need to take a step back at this point. I mean, it's crazy because they have these huge budgets. I think I was actually at an agency in New York the other week for work, and it was just, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to see how much money is spent and how little ROI is tracked.
yeah, oh
You know?
yeah, there've been. I think I've done one campaign with a tracking link, and I've probably done 40 or 50
Yeah,
campaigns
insane.
since I started doing. I'm trying to remember the first time I did. I can actually probably just find out right now, because like you can archive posts, and you already know after that 2-week period, I'm archiving.
absolutely.
I'm archiving those posts.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
anywho, I think it was like 2 years ago that I first started getting into that, and it wasn't for much. And that's the thing, it's still a Wild West. Like,
Right.
the market's still fluctuating and like determining itself, and
Right, exactly.
I don't know. It's crazy sometimes. But anyways, getting into the news, according to the internet, a man in Florida was arrested in connection with the mail bombs sent to public officials. Did you see all about this yesterday?
I have been following somewhat, yes.
So it was sent to Clinton's, Obama's, and a laundry list of other people, including Joe Biden and Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro, I saw that. Yeah.
So, man, this stuff's getting really aggressive and crazy. I feel like it's just really genuinely bringing out the worst in people, like politics and the elections and midterms and everything.
Yeah, you know, the first thing I always say when it comes to conversations like these is like, I'm very uninformed when it comes to some of this stuff. But I mean, like, I don't even know what to think about this one. This, you know, not that it was much in our sort of, you know, time frame, but like this reminds me of like Unabomber type activity.
Mm-hmm.
This is wild. I don't know what to think of this one. I think there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered too. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. You know.
Yeah, and the thing was, all of the I saw a picture of one of the bombs that was sent like in a package, and it said like to Joe Biden from like Debbie Wasserman Schultz or whatever her name is,
Right.
and it's like this guy was just like, don't you think that they would just email each other or like something like that?
Right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Bizarre is just the
not even
tip of the iceberg, I think, when it
Exactly.
comes to that. Do you think that it's ironic that this type of stuff tends to come from people who live in Florida? I feel like hashtag Florida man is like very relevant here, where it's like Florida man runs naked and tries to eat people's face off.
Sure. I mean, you know, obviously no defending any type of something like this, but it's funny because, you know, out in LA, you know, sometimes we have the Florida man discussions too, and it's super funny because just the whole, I feel like a lot of the nation realizes that a lot of crazy things happen in Florida, and it's funny too when those conversations come up. Like, I was born in Florida, in Jacksonville, and I've been to Florida a lot. I like really like Florida, so it's like I'm always the one to be like, hey man, like you don't always have to hate on Florida, but it's a lot of absurd things happen there.
Speaking of Jacksonville, Florida, and doing a whole 360 on the conversation, did you see Rough and Rowdy's there this weekend? Do you follow?
I don't.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have to give you the rundown now.
Yeah.
Rough and Rowdy, it's ran by Barstool Sports.
Okay.
Amateur boxing. They build it up with all of these like pre-fight trash talking stuff for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then, you know, a bunch of drunk college kids go and watch people get knocked out in like 5-minute rounds. And they have 40 fights on the card that I think it's tonight or tomorrow.
Good Lord.
And it's in Jacksonville this weekend. Yeah, you should check it out. It's like $10, dude.
That's wild.
Oh yeah.
That's
it's
wild.
like, I think it's actually the first ever pay-per-view event that I've bought like in my life.
It's on
is rough and rowdy.
pay-per-view?
Yeah, it's $10.
Oh my gosh.
But do the knockout math.
Yeah.
40 fights divided by $10.
Yeah.
Like,
that's great.
the economy per knockout is just great there.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that literally like 25 cents?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all. Assuming all of them are knockouts, right?
Yeah. Most of them end in knockouts.
Yeah, I'm assuming they don't go the distance.
Well, yeah, it's literally just one 5-minute round. So they just like go crazy.
Good Lord. Yeah.
But yeah, they like build it up with these big, like title fights and stuff that are like 3 5-minute rounds. And
that's pretty cool.
it always gets fun. Yeah. Bill Burr is one of the announcers.
Right on.
The comedian. So,
yeah.
Anyways, rolling into our small town shout out, I guess. Did you have a small town in mind for today?
I didn't come prepared. So off the top of the head, I'm going to go with Park Hills, Kentucky.
Park Hills, Kentucky. Shout out Park Hills.
Yeah.
What would you guess the population of Park Hills, Kentucky is?
I don't know. I'm going to make a fool of myself now because I picked it. Few tens of thousands, maybe.
A few tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Like,
hold on, maybe like, I don't know, it's 15,000. So
I don't know.
I also don't even know how big Park Hills is.
Tell me about. Oh, you've never been to Park Hills?
Well, I lived in Park Hills.
Okay.
Yeah, as a kid. Yeah.
How many fast food restaurants were there?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like it's in between other neighborhoods. In Park Hills, I don't know. Definitely a few. There's definitely a Skyline in Park Hills.
All right.
Actually, I don't know if there's a Skyline in Park Hills.
I'm going to go 9,000.
9,000?
I typically go 1,000 for every fast food restaurant in the town. It's pretty.
That's okay.
That's my indicator.
That's great.
Is that a bad indicator?
That's great.
Because the town that I grew up in, Monroe, has like 12 fast food joints. I'm pretty sure the population is like 12,000 people.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's like
perfect.
It's perfect.
All right, we gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Do we confirm?
Well, I thought Jeremy might be doing it, but I have it.
I did.
Oh wow.
Population is 3,000 people.
3,000 people.
Yeah, 2983. Man,
good Lord.
We were both off big time there. Must just be maybe the Kentucky translation for the real world is like for every 500 people they get one fast food restaurant, right?
Yeah, because they're just going more often, you know.
Yeah, because let's just make fun of Kentucky while we're at it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's another place that gets a bad rap from Cincinnati.
Well, let's hear your angle of it.
Look, okay, here's. Let me break it down like this, okay? When I went to Xavier, I was taking a lot of grief for being from Kentucky, right? Not proper Cincinnati. But what the funniest part was that I could leave my house, right, in Kentucky and drive 5 minutes and be in downtown Cincinnati. Right? Like there, my uncle's house in Fort Thomas, you can see, Cincinnati skyline from like one of his rooms. So that was always my counter argument because I had friends that said they lived in Cincinnati, but it took them 25 minutes to drive to downtown. Mm-hmm. So I always felt like there's nothing in Kentucky I think that you miss from Cincinnati culture. Now, like I'm totally open-minded on that. Like if someone wants to like prove me wrong, because there's also like a Northern Kentucky culture that I think a lot of people buy into as well, like me included.
Northern Kentucky culture is pretty dope.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Coffee shops down there. Like, for me, like, just me personally, like, sitting in a coffee shop in Newport is a lot different than sitting in a coffee shop downtown, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd agree with that.
But I wouldn't I don't know, man. I feel like Northern Kentucky is equally a part of the Cincinnati metro area. I would say it's more Cincinnati than Kentucky, if that makes sense. When you think of generalized stereotypes of Kentucky.
You know what? I think I'd agree with you because, when you say you're from Kentucky, people get this, like when you're not from here.
If someone were to walk up to me and say, hey, I'm from Kentucky, I would immediately picture like an 80-acre farm, going back to their house, their mom cooking a casserole, and their dad wearing overalls. That's immediately what I would think of.
A lot of people think that.
Oh, man. Jeremy just passed along the message. Probably our next topic. McDonald's McRib is coming back for a limited time Alex,
Excellent.
are you a fan of the McRib?
Well, I can't gauge your guys' reactions, but from time to time, I order a McRib. Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
I've never had a McRib.
You've never
in my
had
life.
one?
Dude, I went through like a 4-year period where I didn't have any McDonald's at all.
Okay, I'm kind of in that boat myself because I used to have it like a lot in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I kind of like burnt myself out.
And then when you're an adult, you're like, damn, this shit is terrible.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like,
I get it. Yeah, I mean, I'll occasionally actually get it in LA because it's like open late.
oh, yeah. I mean, more recently, like, I'll do like a large fry, but like, I'm not going to say never, but I like haven't done a full meal in a long time.
Yeah.
there.
I mean,
Like,
sometimes you just need like a Big Mac, just a Big Mac.
Really?
You know? Oh, yeah.
and you're a Big Mac guy too.
I like a Big Mac, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A large fry does it for me. Like,
Yeah.
it's nice and salty, and I know it's terrible for me, but it's not the burger and the Coke as well. It's just the fry. I'll also, the McCafe stuff that they've rolled out over like the past like 10 years, they've been developing that. Not too bad.
No?
Yeah. When you're in a pinch, like I was in a pretty small town for this movie that I was shooting, and all they had was McDonald's
Right.
and this place called Big B Coffee.
Oh, Big B's Coffee, yeah.
I don't know if
There's
have
one
you
in
heard of
Northern
it?
Kentucky.
Is there?
There is, yeah.
I was completely unaware. Never heard of it. Never had it before then.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd rate it on the coffee scale.
I've been in there. I don't really remember the coffee.
Man, for me, it's like, have you been to Cavu up like in the North Burbs?
I have not.
Okay, there's this place called Cavu, like my favorite coffee shop of all time.
Yeah.
And then there's this place like literally very close to it called Cocoon that's also pretty good. And then I'd go with like Starbucks over like Dunkin' and
Sure.
like Tim Hortons and other like
Yeah.
chain coffee places. But man, Big B, I don't know. I guess I couldn't get a good read on it. I just
Right.
don't think I was a fan.
Yeah. How long have you been drinking coffee?
That's a good question. I probably started when I was 16.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've only been drinking for like a year. Actually, I would say just recently.
I love how you said, oh, wow.
Well, that's like a few years. You know?
That's at least, that's what, how long is that now? 6 years?
Yeah. But actually, a lot of people do. Like, I don't know.
I
I think I'm actually the anomaly. I started like drinking later.
don't think you're an anomaly. Because the thing about me in high school is, this is just a funny story that I like to tell people. When I was a senior in high school, I was tardy 70 days. And
That's awesome.
I actually graduated a semester early. So in one semester, I was late almost every single day.
Oh my God.
One day I woke up to a truancy officer and the question was, do you know what day it is? And I said Saturday, and it was a Wednesday. It wasn't even close to the weekend. It was like the middle of the week, right?
Good Lord.
Like it was like 11:30, dude. It was great. But my biggest problem as an adolescent was not getting my girlfriend pregnant. It was I would be on the way to school and I'd already be like either just barely gonna get there on time or maybe like 1 or 2 minutes early. I'm like, man, if I'm gonna be late, I might as well be late with McDonald's hotcakes and
You know
coffee.
what?
You know
Love
what
it.
I'm saying?
Why not?
Yeah,
Why
so
not?
I'd pull over, I'd be 15 minutes late. I'd come in and I'd just sit in the front row of my first bell class and eat my breakfast.
Why not? Why not?
And I did that so often. And then there was a Bob Evans next to my school. And that's when I got in really big trouble because the school didn't care if I was 10 minutes late. They really, like, the school I went to was a really, like, good, like, it was a vocational school. Like, they were really flexible with me because, like, not trying to brag, but, like, I was probably one of the better
Here we
students
go.
in the
No.
program. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, like, they were, like, really, like, oh, okay, like, it's fine. Just
Sure.
don't make it a habit. So I made it a habit. And then I made it,
course.
like, a worse habit where I'd be running late and I'd go sit down at Bob Evans for breakfast and be, like, an hour and a half late.
Of course.
Miss
Yeah.
my first 2
Of
bells.
course,
And then
yeah.
I'd walk in and,
Worth
they knew what was going on because the Bob Evans was literally across the street. I'm sure the principal wouldn't just come over and, like, strangle me
Oh, yeah.
sometimes when he saw my car in the park.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like what got me into drinking coffee was just
Bob
this
Evans.
crazy. Dude, that's when I was into YouTube. I was making YouTube videos. Like literally my schedule is I'd get home from school, go to soccer practice for 2 hours, take a shower, do a live stream every night on YouNow, like do whatever I could, like then
Yeah.
shoot a YouTube video, then edit it, and by the time I had done that, it was 2 or 3 every night.
Yeah.
I'd be up at 6:30, get to school at 7, and then I was like, okay, yeah, this isn't like working out. And then I was like, what's more important to me long term, graduating high school or being a YouTube superstar? And 17-year-old me was like, being a YouTube superstar.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Sound decision making.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not kidding.
Completely logical. No, but yeah, I think 16 is relatively early on the scale for the coffee drinking.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like I look back to my high school and college career, and just knowing what I know now from coffee about how it like affects my productivity, I'm like, damn, I should have started this way earlier.
Yeah, dude, it really like has an effect on people.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. I think that I think everyone's addicted to something, and most people are addicted to caffeine, and they don't realize it.
No.
Like, try going an entire day without drinking. Like if you're a regular like pop or energy drink or a coffee person, try going like a day. You'll like crash. Like as soon as you get home from work or something, you'll just crash.
Yeah. I get headaches when I don't drink coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
And you've only been drinking it for a year?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got to take like 2 days, and then I'm fine. But for like 2 days, I'll have like a headache.
You know the craziest thing about coffee to me?
What's that?
Is like in the Civil War, there were like dudes sitting around a fire roasting a pot of beans to drink coffee. Like
That's pretty wild. Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me.
That's cool. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just, yeah.
Like it's, one of the oldest.
Yeah, that and tea. It's just old stuff.
I mean, how do you think that they drank, like had some type of bag for tea? Or do you think that they did like the pour over like tea stuff? Or do you think they just drank it with the leaves in the water?
Man, I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know much about tea.
Huh.
I don't even know.
I went through a big tea phase.
Yeah.
That Teavana store in the Kenwood Mall, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like probably the whitest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
I like tea.
I'm trying to think. I didn't like grow up on a country club. Like I'm trying to think of like the level of.
A lot of people in LA do boba, like boba tea.
Oh yeah, is that the bubble thing where you?
It's like tapioca balls.
Oh.
I don't like it. I don't get it. That and sparkling water, man. I could take the next hour and just rant about how
last time they asked you sparkling this too?
Exactly. God, I've never related so much to a Kanye line.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, come on.
I don't drink plain sparkling water. I can get down with like some San Pellegrino, like.
If it's flavored, totally.
Yeah, like
totally.
blood orange, like it tastes different. Like,
sure.
Right, it's different. But like, who just drinks plain sparkling
Exactly.
water?
It's like, get off your high. Who do you think you are? It's not actually better. You've convinced yourself that you think it's better, but it's not better. It's dumb.
Yeah, I don't. That and what is it? Club soda?
Club soda.
Have you ever met anyone that just drinks like club soda plain?
No. I
Like
thought
the
club
stuff-
soda was like for drinks and stuff.
It is, but I've seen people drink it plain.
Oh, that
stuff
weird.
tastes terrible. It's
Yeah.
literally just like fizzed up stuff with no sugar and nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Not a fan.
No.
Not a fan at all.
Definitely not.
What's been the craziest thing to you about living in LA? I think a lot of people think that it's like this cynical metropolis. What's been your take on it?
I like it. And I actually originally went out there because I'm interested in the music industry, and definitely still am, sort of the artist management side. And I think actually what the craziest part about LA is, so, I've had this interest in the music industry for years, all throughout college I had that interest, and I like remember in college, I actually only had one conversation with someone in the music industry. It was like a friend of my family. He lived actually in like Wisconsin, and he worked for Atlantic Records. And I called him senior year just to kind of understand a little bit more about the industry. And it was great because for the first time, someone like someone knew more about it than I did, right?
Mhm.
Because I obviously spent a lot of my time, reading and looking into it. But what's crazy about LA, and I think about bigger markets in general, is that you never know on any given day what opportunity could just fall into your lap or
Mhm.
someone you could meet. I mean, like an Uber driver, could have just worked for like Universal Music. Like it's crazy. So that's by far, I think, the craziest thing. Just the random opportunity that surfaces.
Yeah, I when I was out there a couple weeks ago, literally, dude in front of me getting coffee was Jeff Bridges.
That's wild.
Like, you know what I'm like? It's just
Yeah.
like stuff like that, but it happens all the time when you're out there because
Yeah.
it's just where
It's where it
everyone
happens.
is.
Yeah.
It's like
It's crazy.
I'm not gonna run into Jeff Bridges and Big B in Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna run into
exactly.
Stan who works at P&G.
Right. I mean, look, and there's
And shout out Stan at P&G, but like Jeff
Shout out
Bridges
Stan.
is the Big Lebowski. Like,
exactly.
like
it's the dude.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's like the coolest person you've ran into out there?
uh
Who's the coolest person? And then who's the most meaningful person? Like, who's like actually taking time to talk to you and still talks to you?
yes. So I'll start with meaningful, just because that comes to mind first. So when I was in late high school, I sort of discovered Scooter Braun and like him and his operation. He was working with Justin Bieber at the time, and I thought that was like the dopest thing ever.
Mhm.
Still do. I still think his team is the best in the game. And I actually had the opportunity to work with them on a few campaigns through my company on some live streaming events. So there's this girl, Jackie Augustus, who's super dope. And I hit her up after one of our campaigns and kind of told her that, I've known about their team for a while and I've just really enjoyed, working on these campaigns with them. And she invited me to the office. So I actually went to the SB Projects office, which was like surreal for me. Just, again, like this dude from Cincinnati that had to run out there just to find that kind of work.
Mhm.
So that was crazy. And I actually ended up meeting Michael George in the process, who, back in the day used to manage Hoodie Allen, then managed Martin Garrix, and now manages an artist called Eden. So definitely like being exposed to his team was the coolest stuff, I've like ever been a part of. So that was fun. And then I guess as far as like random celebrity sightings, I was near UCLA one day and I walked by a hookah bar with like an outdoor patio, and like Shaq is sitting there just like smoking hookah. It was hilarious. He's such a massive dude.
Yeah, DJ Diesel, man. He's putting on a show.
Yeah.
I saw him. Like I saw his name on a couple festivals that got released.
Really?
Recently too. Yeah, man.
That is awesome.
He's traveling the world. He's doing Breakaway.
Yeah, he's killing
All
it.
of the local cats familiar with that. Nashville and Charlotte and Columbus and all of those. So no, but that's dope, man. So your end goal is music management, like artist management.
Yeah, I'd definitely say that's the end goal, is artist management. Yep.
And LA, what advantage does LA give you in that aspect? Because I know with a lot of music artists, right? They're not in LA. They're waiting to be discovered in a place like Cincinnati or,
Right.
South Carolina or
Right.
wherever.
Yeah. Exactly. And on that, I actually work with an artist right now who's actually in New York City. So, I went out to LA because I felt like it was the closest spot to the industry as a whole. And I felt like the first step is either working for a company that works with music companies like I'm doing now,
Mhm.
or working in the music industry. And, basically I thought that LA is where it was happening, and I thought I wasn't going to get a job in LA if I wasn't in LA. So I just moved there without a job.
Best thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was difficult, and worked at a pizza place, slept on an air mattress for a few months, and was like very close to coming back, but ended up kind of working out. But
Kinda.
well,
It's working out.
no, it definitely worked out. I got really lucky. Got super lucky. and it's definitely not. I don't know. It's definitely not as easy as I thought it would be. I didn't think it was going to be easy, but it was even harder than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just LA and New York, I think, and Nashville are probably the three places that the music industry is most prevalent. And I just think it's easiest to find opportunity within the industry there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I went. So I don't know. I think that answers the question.
I love it, man.
Yeah. But let's talk about movies for a second.
Okay,
Because
let's do it.
I've been following what you've been up to. I know
First interview. Let's do it.
Yeah. I know that one of your other episodes was like that too. And I was like, oh, okay. But I remember you telling me when we first met that you originally got onto the movie Goat, which was actually shot at Xavier.
Yep.
When I was there. But how did you get into the movie scene like after that?
Just a lot of hustling, man.
Yeah.
After that, I really just started to, speak it into existence, what I wanted to happen. I was telling all my friends who worked in film, I said, yo, I want to do this acting thing. Like, I went to school for the production side, but acting's really fun right now. And like, if you have any opportunities, like, let me know. If you know of any opportunities, let me know. Like, I don't want money. I just want opportunity, right? So I ended up doing a short film that, the great thing about short films for me then was I hadn't been on a ton of sets. So when I got on the set of a short film being produced by local people with local people, right? And I was the lead, like, you go into that and you meet 20 people who are working on this project, and those 20 people also work on other projects.
Yeah. And
then that's when you start to build your connections and your network. And I just started working my network, man. And then when I found out Goat got accepted to Sundance, booked a flight to Sundance, like, without even thinking.
That's awesome.
I was like, yo, I'm going out here, like, printed off 500 business cards with my headshot on them, my contact information on the back. Went out there, started hustling, met a ton of incredible connections, and ended up booking 3 roles just from people I met at Sundance. I met Jeff Bauer, who won an Emmy last year for a documentary he produced, full-time producer. Like, he produced, like, you can walk down the aisle of Best Buy and find at least one of the projects he's done.
Yeah.
Like, he did Kickboxer Vengeance with Dave Bautista and, whole laundry list of guys. Like, very, like, successful guy. Took the time to talk to me. Like, turns out he had a kid when he was a teenager too. So, like, we, like, instantly connected. And he's like, dude, I know, like, how hard it is to hustle in this industry. Like, I want to help you out. And, like, we stayed connected through that. But on top of that, man, just a ton of, like, I got a ton of advice from a ton of actors. I was able to gain access because I was in a film to, like, the Sundance Actors Lounge, which is, like, where everyone hangs out, where there's no, like I didn't have to worry about it, but, like, dude, TMZ's there, and, like,
sure,
there's actual, like, A-listers there that are getting hounded for, like, autographs and stuff. So, like, I got to talk to, like, John Krasinski, like, just, like, very candidly about, like, the industry. And, like,
that's awesome.
No, but, like, not just him, but, like, also, like, I got to talk to, like, working actors, like, people who, like, I could name drop, but, like, you wouldn't know, and no one else would care. But, like, these dudes are, like, putting in the work, putting in the hours, and making, like, $60,000-$70,000.
Yeah.
You probably seen them in a bunch of shows. You couldn't name them, but, like, they're, like, working actors. And, that's the heart of a lot. Like, I'd say 90% of the people you see in shows are just working actors.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, met a lot of people like that, met some writers, met some agents. And then it's just a hustle from there, man.
Yeah.
You gotta, you've really just gotta believe in yourself at that point. Like, when you tell people, like, I can do this, I'm going to do this, like, and you speak it into existence, man. That's just what happens. So, I said yes to damn near every opportunity that came my way.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Whether that, like, like for example, like I accepted a role in a show working as a local in Wisconsin, right? For like business talk, like working as a local means like they're not flying you out, they're not putting you up, they're not doing anything, right? So I drove there, like figured out a way to put myself up, like came out of my own pocket, ended up losing money, and my scene got cut from the show.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like stuff like that. It like dude, it makes you like really I don't know exactly a way to put words on how I felt, but man, like I put all my eggs in the basket of entertainment, like because I mean, dude, I had nothing, like I was working a ton of hours, I had a newborn, like I was literally like betting it all, risking it all on this thing to work out. So thankfully it has so far.
Yeah.
Hopefully it keeps rewarding me in the way it has the past couple of years.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, after that, man, it's just after you reach a certain point of having done, I'd say after the 6th project I did, then that's when like my connection started. Like, hey, I've got like a 2-day role in this. Would you be interested?
Yeah.
Like the bit roles really just get offered to you. The only stuff you're really auditioning for is the supporting and leading roles and stuff.
Right.
And even that, if you've worked with someone before, they'll just offer you a role like that if they know what you're capable of.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, just got a good reel together and was able to send that off. And like, here's like the crazy thing is like, I haven't really been pursuing acting as much as I've been pursuing producing the past 12 months. But some of the biggest acting conversations have come up in the past 12 months that I never would have imagined happening. And like I don't know if I gain anything to benefit from like name dropping like the projects that I've talked to or like the people who have emailed me like asking for like, you know, availability requests and like wanting to put me on hold for stuff and all of that. But like it's been like major like networks like primetime cable like conversations that have happened, and I haven't even been, like that's the thing, I haven't even been pursuing it. That's the crazy thing, right? That means that I at least what I hope that means to me, what I gathered from it is my work ethic has started to speak for itself. Sure, people know who I am morally and what I can do professionally. Definitely. And they know what they get from me, and like sometimes it's a good fit, sometimes it isn't, and sometimes they just go with someone else. Right. And that's just part of this industry, right? So without getting on like I'm already on like a pretty crazy long tangent about it. No, but this industry's crazy. But now where I've put a lot of time and energy and effort into producing, like I produced this project, people saw like my updates, saw I was posting. I came back, I like got to go through all my emails, and like I had 3 offers to produce other projects next year. That's crazy. Right? That's and crazy. It's like, dude, that is crazy. Yeah. That's seriously like, that's all I can say is that it's crazy. But like to the same effect, like you have to drag your feet a little, you have to vet the people out, you have to make sure that it's a right fit. But like the thing with me has been like, even because anyone tries to work their way up in an industry. So it's like, I've already made films for like $30,000-$40,000, right? Yeah. I would do it for a friend. I am not actively pursuing doing it again because it's a lot of work. Oh yeah. And like you're asking a lot of favors as far as like having friends be on the crew who are working for a lot less than they normally work for, and long days, and there's just not a lot. It's a reward. The whole thing's a rewarding process, but it's not something I'm actively pursuing and doing for someone else again. I'd rather do it like 10 years from now under my own terms. Like, hey, boys, want to get together for 2 weeks and shoot a movie? Right. But it's like something like that. The way that they can gain my know-how and I can feel like I'm helping someone without putting weeks and weeks and hours of time into it, is coming on as an advising producer.
Right.
They have someone else produce it. They can email me whenever they want. They can call me whenever they want.
Yeah.
And like, it's a mutually beneficial thing.
Right.
So that's kind of like what I've been working on, is like how to master that. But yeah, man, like I'm young. That's the exciting thing. Like that's like ultimately the exciting thing. 'Cause sometimes it feels like it's going like super fast.
Right.
Like it's all coming and it's all like, dude, I spoke this stuff into existence when I was broke as shit, like had nothing, had done no projects, and I spoke it into existence, and now it's like coming.
Well, yeah,
like,
I mean, like when it rains, it pours.
Exactly, dude. So I think in the past 5 years since I've been doing this, I've done, I think this was like my 23rd-ish project.
That's crazy.
Somewhere around there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's like, that includes acting and producing and just being on stuff. And
that's
like,
the way it goes, and it's what I tell people too, when it comes to like whatever they want to do, you don't have to have like the whole plan. The only thing you need to do is just start running in whatever direction you think you need to, right? For me, that was like literally like going to LA, and that's linked me up with like people at Scooter Braun. Last week, I was in New York, actually at Republic Records, meeting with a contact there. And like, it was crazy. And it's funny because I'm going back to Xavier in February to basically do like a little alumni panel. That's
dope.
I'm helping, like set it up. Because I want to give like college students like that are about to graduate advice on finding a job. Because when I was there, like I felt like it was like older people, like people that were like 20 years into their career, like giving advice for how to find a job. And it was like, all right, what do I do now?
That's kind of what frustrates me about college. And I can talk about this all day, man, but I feel for a lot of creatives that are in college that are being told by like their parents or the people around them that like you need to be in college to succeed as a creative.
Right.
Me personally, I don't think so. Jeremy went to college. He might have a different opinion. Like you went to college, you might have a different opinion. I think everyone has a different opinion, but like I feel like college goes on my friend described it really well the other day, a pendulum or something like that. Where it's like we go through waves where like everyone has a college degree and trades become like a essential thing that people pursue, and then we swing back, like, you know what I'm saying? When a bunch of people have college degrees, the more people pursue trades and less people pursue college.
Oh yeah.
And then a ton of people have trade jobs and no one's going to college anymore.
Yeah, and I think
the pendulum swings back and forth.
And what's even like more interesting is that's becoming even more faceted. Like, I'm looking at I don't know, pseudo social media type entertainment. Like I'm looking at people like Sam Elkins, he's a big photographer, like Andrew Kearns, this kid Matt Como worked for GoPro. Like these are guys that have huge followings on social media making awesome content, like videos, photography, and they didn't go to college. So it's even like I'd put those maybe into like a trade category.
Yeah.
But like entertainment
I think arts and entertainment is a trade.
Definitely.
Like you can spend like, ask any actor, dude. You can spend $5,000-6,000 going to the second city to do a workshop or a panel and like learn and talk and just be around professionals.
Yeah.
Like you can go to UCB, you can do all of these things. You can go to Stella Adler, whatever you want to call it. Like who cares where you go to learn, but you can go there and you'll pay money and you'll learn a trade.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
like what you make of what you learn is up to you, just like in any other profession.
Yeah.
But it's ultimately something I think where the success lies in your hands, like what you're going to do with it, what you're going to become. And like ultimately, I think the toughest thing morally for a lot of these people pursuing it is like they'll say yes at any opportunity that they get given solely because of money, even if it doesn't align with your morals.
Right.
And let me just be like the voice of reason. It's okay to say no. Like, I've passed on, I wouldn't say life-changing opportunities, but things that would have not sat right with me morally after I did them. That would have been nice money and like nice recognition. But like, just like, I don't know, man.
No, yeah, I get you.
Like, I'm a married dude. I don't feel like getting on, let's just say like Modern Family. Like, I don't feel like getting on there and making out with some chick. Like, that just doesn't sit with me.
Right.
Like, morally.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. Who knows? I don't have all the answers.
Yeah. I mean,
let's get it light in here, man.
Yeah.
Meme of the day presented by my wife. And then we'll close out with some final thoughts. So, Jeremy said I wasn't making it clear enough. I described the meme because it's stupid to describe memes, but you can see the meme if you go to the Internet Podcast on Instagram. Apparently, I wasn't clear about that, and Jeremy has been very upset. So, the meme is SpongeBob with a very red face and the entire universe in the background shaking, and it says, 8-year-olds trying to go 5 minutes in public without doing a Fortnite dance. It will be posted on the Internet Podcast on Instagram. Make sure you go follow it.
Love it.
And make sure you go check out Alex and what he's doing. Super bright future ahead of him. Where can they find you at, man?
They can they can find me at the Skyline Chili Guy on Instagram, man.
Oh, heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
How many Skylines have you been to? All of them or no?
No, not all of them. There's a lot of them. I don't know, maybe like 8 to 10. Not a whole lot, actually.
Oh, wow. That's actually surprising.
Yeah,
I feel
not
like
a whole
I've been
lot.
to 8 to 10.
Yeah, no, I haven't made it a goal to like travel to a whole lot of them, but I probably should.
Have you been to the one in Florida?
No, but I've driven by it. Yeah.
You're the Skyline guy, man.
Well, it's been a while. I haven't been in Florida in a while.
All right. Well, safe travels back.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, dude. Good conversations. We'll have to have you back on again.
Yeah, of course.
We're just, hitting that sweet spot of an hour where,
yeah.
That's just the sweet spot.
The sweet spot.
I know, which means you got to come back.
Yeah, will do.
Anyways, we will see you soon. And until next time, don't drink milk straight out of a cow's titty.